Hello guys, welcome back to another tutorial. Hit the bell icon button so that you don't miss out any tutorial.
In this lecture we are going to display the albums. So let's begin by closing all of these folders and by going to our album model. So let's create a relationship between the albums and the photos, right? Because an album has many photos, so this should return a has many app models photo. And the same for the photo. A photo belongs to an album, right? So this should be album method or function, and this should return this belongs to app models album. Great. So now we created a relationship, and let's display all albums in our home view. So let's go to routes, and we need to use the index method. So here we have our index view for albums, and here we should display all of the albums that we have in our database. So let's go to Bootstrap, and here we're going to search for examples. And for example, here I have album, and this is good layout to use. So let's view the source page, and here you have, this is a wider curve, it's a boring, so this is a wider curve, it's boring. So let's grab the whole row with a container and paste it into the content of index. Let's close the container div and the row div. Great, now we're ready to go, and here we have our thumbnail. So let's add a break here and here. So in this way, this is not great. Now I have a space between them. And now we need to go to our album controller and just send to the index view the albums. So this is going to be with albums, and we're sending the albums variable, which are going to create right now. So this is going to be albums equals to album with photos, because we are getting all of the albums photos, and get. Now we have to show this in the index view. So if we have an album or more than one album, sorry, more than 0 albums, if we don't have albums, we're going to show a message that says no albums yet. And if Now, if we actually have albums, we need to show them, right? Great, so this is going to be a for each albums as album. We're going to show a call. So this should be one album, right? Great. Now we need to add the real data. I'm going to toggle the soft wrap so you can see everything in it. Great. So I'm going to rid of the SVG, and we're going to add an image tag, and the source of this image would be in storage / album covers, and we need the name of the image, which is in cover image field, remember? So this is going to be double curly braces, album cover image. Let's add an alternative text in case the image doesn't show, and let's remove the text from here, and let's just use the description. So this is going to be album description, and finally you have the small class, which is going to be used for the title, the name. We only want one button, a view button, and let's try this out. Okay, this is a huge image. Let's add a height attribute of 200 pixels maybe. Okay, this is way better. Now we have our album with the name and the description. So let's create another album and see if the index works. So I'm going to create a cars album with supercars, and let's just choose the Ferrari for the cover image and submit it. And now I have our two albums, right? Let's create another album called flowers, and we have types of flowers, and here you have a nice cover image, and we have types of flowers as well. So we have 3 albums, and this is done. This lecture we're going to upload the photos for the albums. So going to enable the view button on each album, so in this way you can add photos to them. Okay, so here is our view button, and we need to convert it to an A tag with an href. This is not going to be a type button anymore. This is going to be A, and this should be the same thing. Great. And then we're going to add the links to the buttons. So let's begin by creating a show function. So in that way we can show the albums, right? So here we are in albums controller, and we're going to create a show method, which is going to receive an ID, the ID of the album that we want to show. So here we need to find that album with the find method, but I'm going to add a the photos of the album, and then we can call the find method. Okay, let's just return the album to the albums.show view with, of course, the album variable. I'm sorry, I think we don't need the photos of the album on the index because we only need the cover image, which is in the albums table, but here we need the photos. Great, so we created the show function. Let's create the show view, which is going to be show.play.php. Let's extend the layout. We're using the same layout, of course, and we have the content section. So we created the show view. Now let's create the route for the show method view, of course. So this is going to be a get route, simple get route. And this is going to point to albums slash we need the ID of the album. And this is going to use the show method of the albums controller. And I'm going to name it, this is going to be album-show and semicolon. Great. I think we're ready to go. So let's check this out and let's see. We have albums ID, and yes, we need to add the route here. So this is going to be route album-show, and the way to pass the ID to it is with a comma. So the second parameter would be the route parameter, in this case the album ID. So let's refresh this. I'm going to take this way, and now if you click on inspect, we're going to see that it points to albums /1 and /2 for the second album and /3 for the third album. So this is correctly. And layout.app. So here it's layouts folder, not layout. Great, now we have our page. So let's add a go back button. And for this, let's go back to Bootstrap and let's just grab this whole code, which I think is the Jumbotron call to action and secondary action. Yes. And let's paste this into the show content. I'm going to rearrange this as always. Great. And now we have our Jumbotron, and here we have our album name. So this is a nice way to do this. And the album description. And here we will have a go back button, okay, and upload button. So this is going to be upload photo, and here we will have go back. Okay, wait, I think it's album name, sorry. Great, and we have our 2 buttons. So then we'll see where the upload button points to, but we have to upload the photos. So if we want to create an album, this goes to albums create. So if we want to upload a photo, it should goes to photos create, and of course we will have photos store. So this should be photos and photos, and let's just change the name of the routes. Photo create and photo store, and the controllers as well. And of course, let's just copy all of these methods and paste them into the photos controller and change the albums for photos. And let's just create a new folder just called photos with the new views. So create .blade.php, which has nothing to do with the create.blade from albums. Okay, let's just copy the contents and we need to change the create new album by upload new photo, and this is going to be photo store. We have the CSRF, and let's see the photos fields or columns. So we have album ID, photo, title, size, and description. Of course, the user doesn't need to enter the album ID, right? That's something for us. But of course we need to have a way to recognize which photos are from each album. So that's why we have an album ID field. So here we'll have title, then we will have description. So this stays as it is. Then we have photo for the file, the actual image, and this is going to be photo. It's an input file, name photo, ID photo, and of course we're not entering the size because it depends on the image, so it has nothing to do with the user input. Now let's see, we have the albums/id, in this case is 1, so we need to pass that ID to the create method, so in that way we know which images we should get from the database. So we can pass the ID in the upload photo link, right? So in the photos create route, we're going to have another parameter, which is going to be the album ID. And the method should receive the album ID, which is going to be an integer, and you can put this so PHP knows the type of the parameter that the function is getting, and here we'll have album ID. So we are sending or passing the ID through the pages. Now let's go to the create form, and let's add a hidden variable, which is going to be the album ID, and the value would be album ID. So in this way we can save the photos into that album. So we just need to change the upload and go back. Go back should point to the home, and upload should point to photos create, and we need to pass the album ID. We have album ID. So here we have create/1. Now I have an undefined variable let's see, we have a name for this route. So instead of passing the photos create, let's just call the route name, which is photo create, with the album ID, right? Just close the parentheses. Let's see how it goes. We have album ID, album ID, album ID, and we have the same error. Let's see, force controller. Oh yeah, here is album ID without the hyphen. Great. We have Eduonix, and if we inspect the code, let's search for the hidden variable. Yes, here is album ID with value of 1. Great, now it's working, and we can send the photo. So this is going to photo store, and let's see the store method. We have title, description, and photo. We need to validate those fields. It will be the same for the image name. Okay, it will be the file name with the time and the extension. Now we should change the name of cover image for photo. And this is going to be saved in public albums, and we're going to use the album ID. Which is in the request as a hidden variable. And once we are in the album ID folder, we can save the photos. Now let's just use the app models photo model, and we can change this by photo. and what we need to save is photo album ID. This is going to be photo title, sorry. Description remains the same. Then we have photo, file name to store, and the size, which we are going to get in this way, in the following way. So request file photo and get size, we return the file size. So let's change the name of the album variable by photo, and this should redirect to albums/id because we are inside an album. And here we have photo uploaded successfully. Okay, let's try this out. Upload photo. We have the go back button. View. Let's upload a new photo. Here we will have McLaren F1, which is a car that I love the most, and you must know that this car held the world record in 1997, and this is it. So let's submit it, and we have an error. Yeah, we've got the album ID field, which we are getting from the request. Okay, so we need to add it in here. Photo album ID is going to be equal to request album ID. Okay, this should work, and photo uploaded successfully. Let's see in the database. Here we have our photo. Okay, the album ID is 2, size and description. Okay guys, so for this lecture we don't have a checklist because this is a very quick and short video. So let's go ahead and open the index.play.php from albums, and let's copy that in the show blade, because here we are showing the album photos, and here we'll have, thanks for the relationship, we'll have album photos, and we can access the album photos, of course. Okay, so now the album photos are stored in storage, albums, album ID, and then we have the image. So now we can change the route by albums/album ID, slash the file name, the photo name, which is going to be photo, and of course the photo variable, and the same in the alt tag attribute. Then we'll have the photo description, the size of the photo, and the title, if I remember correctly. So if we want to see the photo, we should call the photo show route with the ID of the photo as a parameter. And let's put here the size of the photo. Okay. Okay, let's try this out. And photo show not defined. Let's see the routes. Okay, we need to create a new route with photos/id. This should go to the show method of photos and the photo show name. So now we have our car, our photos, our album photos, right? So the photo doesn't look nice. Let's see. Maybe we forgot the container, I think. Yes, because we had a section. So let's wrap the whole thing. Let's see. Maybe we don't need the else within the container. Yep. And let's get rid of this. And now we're ready to go. Let's try this again. And here we have our nice photo. So this is a photo from the album Cars. And we can upload another photo of the Ferrari, which is the cover image too, but in this case doesn't matter. So if you must know, this car continues the line of the F40, really nice car too. Oh no, wait. Let's just use the Lamborghini Countach because the F50 is used for the cover image. And let's see, yeah, we have the time machine from the Back to the Future. And that's it for this lecture. I see you in the next lecture, lecture number 7, the last lecture, where we are going to see the photo page and how to delete a photo, right? Okay guys, welcome to our last lecture of this section. So I'm going to check the first item because we already did it. Okay, so now let's create a route to delete the photo. Okay, great. So this would be route delete, and this will point to photos, and we need to pass the ID of the photo that we want to delete from the database. Okay, and this will point to photos controller and the destroy method, of course. Okay, we don't need this /delete, sorry. Great, now we need to add a show method to the photos controller. So I'm going to copy this from the albums controller and paste it at the bottom. This will be photo, and we need to search for the photo only. So this is find, and we need to return the show view within the photos folder. Okay, there we go. And now let's create the photos, the index, the show view, sorry. So show.blade.php. Let's extend the layout, create the section, content section, and now we can paste the content. Actually, you know what? We don't need this content, so I'm going to get rid of it. This is the row, and let's add an h3 here for the photo title. Then we'll have a paragraph for the photo description, and another item so this should be the route name will be album show photo album ID. We are getting the ID through the relationship. Now let's add the class of button info. Go back. Then we'll have the image, which will point to storage / albums / the album ID. Yeah, we don't need the dot, and we need the name of the photo. Okay, so it would be / album ID / photo, and let's use this for the alt as well. Now we can change this by album _ ID, and it will be the same thing as the photo album ID, because we are getting the album ID from the photos table, and otherwise we are getting the album ID through the album relationship from the photo model. Okay, and finally we'll have the size, which we are getting through photo arrow size. Okay, let's try it out. And here we have our photo. Size is wrong. I don't want it there. And the size of the photo is getting down to the bottom. So let's see. Let's move the size up here. Okay, it's a better place. And for the photo, can I have a break here or an HR? Okay, great. Now I have our photo displayed with the go back button. And let's add here a form for the delete button. Okay, so this should point to the delete method, or the delete route, which is I'm going to name it photo delete, photo destroy. So this will point to that route, and of course we need to pass the ID. So this will be photo destroy and the photo ID. And we need to add here the CSRF token, and remember the method to delete the photo, and the button, of course. So there should be a submit button with the delete text, and we're going to add the class again of button danger. Let's add a float right class here to pull the delete button to the right. Right, looks well. And now let's see, we have the delete button, the go back button. Let's see if this works. Great. And what do we have left? Let's see. We have the photo album ID, and we need now to create the delete method. So we created the show view, we added a delete button, and we are creating a show a delete method. So this would receive an ID. So here we have photo equals to photo, find the ID, because we need to first find the photo. And before we delete the data from database, let's look for the storage facade, because we need to delete the photo from the disk, okay? The image file from the disk. For that, we need to use the storage facade, which is right here. So let's use this in our model. So let's say if storage double colon delete. So here is the path to the photo. Let's grab this and paste it in this method. We need to remove the double curly braces and add the PHP syntax with the dot concatenation. Great. So if the system can delete the photo, then we can delete the model or the data in database, okay? Once we have deleted the photo and the model, we can redirect the user to the album page because we deleted the photo. We can return the user, redirect the user to the home page. So let's see. Here we have the photos stored in the disk. Lamborghini and McLaren. Okay, let's try to delete this. Oh, this is too large. Let's fix this first, okay? We need to go back and see. Let's see. This has 990 pixels of height, so let's limit the image height to that, okay, in the show blade of the photo. So we'll say here width 990 pixels, the width, not the height, okay? Okay, great, that looks great. So let's try the delete button. Force controller destroy does not exist. Destroy. Photos controller, photo destroy. We have the delete function. Destroy. Okay, let's see. Great. So this is not deleting the image, because otherwise we would be redirected to the home page. Let's try this. Let's dt here to this method and see what it returns, okay? So let's comment this out and try this again. Delete. False. So this is not deleting the image, thus it's not deleting the model, thus it's not redirecting us to the home page. So let's see, you have let's remove this slash and try this again. I think this is the problem, maybe. No, it isn't. So let's go back and use the DT again. Okay, let's see. False. So let's try, this is in public folder, right? This is going to search in the public folder. So now it returns true. Now it's deleting the file. It's not there anymore. So this should be public. And oh, now I have the image again. Why is that? Wait, let me see. We deleted the image. It's not there anymore. Why is it showing? I think this is getting from storage. Right, it should be public. Okay, great. And the same in here, which should be public as well in the show blade. Let's see. No, wait, this is wrong. This should be storage. And okay, and this should be public. Let's see. We didn't delete the database register. So the image isn't there anymore, but we have the data in the database. That's because we were debugging it and it deleted the file but not the model. So let's delete it from database. Now it is not there anymore. Let's try with the image again. Okay, now we have the image. This should be storage instead of public here in the show blade, as it were before. Okay, we have the image, and if we delete it, we get redirected to the home page, and now the image is gone. Okay, let's upload flowers here, for example roses, red roses. Submit, and here we have our roses. We can view them, we can delete it, and it's not there anymore. So probably this is it for this lecture, guys, and for this section, the photo gallery website, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you like the video, do give us a thumbs up and share it. Also check out amazing discounts and offers on our premium courses in the description below.